All right, new tonight, complaints of sexual misconduct and harassment on the job have increased in the Cincinnati area and the state of Ohio.
Victim advocates say that the Me Too movement empowered many people to come forward. I-Team Chief Investigator Craig Cheatham examines the impact of allegations in one local office and the important evidence that can help build a stronger case.
I wanted to retire from that place. I loved the office.
Jessica Cope thought it was the perfect job. As a supervisor at Hamilton Riverside Dentistry, she earned $30 an hour. And the office was just a 5-minute drive from her home.
We just all loved each other. We were all friends. And all of that got broke apart because of a subcontracting doctor.
Cope says that doctor, dentist Paul Gaston, sexually harassed her in 2014, allegedly touching her inappropriately and making unwanted sexual comments.
I would take my lunch break and cry in the car.
Cope told the I-Team Dr. Gaston played pornography on his laptop in front of other employees.
And I slammed his laptop lid down and I said, "That's it. Today you went too far."
Cope says she and a co-worker, Megan Berry, asked Dr. Gaston to stop. When he didn't, Cope says she complained to office operations manager David Tankovich, who she says failed to address it. Then Cope says she complained to Neelam Goel, the senior manager in the office and the owner's sister-in-law. Goel told her to take a drug test.
I was told to go home.
Cope says she passed the drug test, but she and Berry still got fired.
It's very scary. I mean, I was in disbelief.
The truth is she's just making up everything. There's no sexual harassment.
Goel says some of Cope's co-workers did complain, but only about Dr. Gaston's fishing stories. He never talked about sex.
Never.
He talked about fly fishing. Goel says she asked Cope to take a drug test because she acted erratically at work, and that Cope didn't complain about harassment until after she was told to get tested. So why do you think she complained?
It's all boils down to one thing: money.
When they fired me, it took me a whole year to get back to work. Every job interview that I was going on, as soon as I would say, I left there from sexual harassment, I don't get callbacks.
Both women say the case took a toll on them and the office. So what makes allegations credible? The I-Team asked two prominent local employment attorneys, Randy Freaking and Melinda Nicely, and they said the key is for victims to keep a detailed record of not only what happened, but the response to it.
Number one thing is to keep a journal. A diary is very powerful evidence.
Freaking says a journal should be as detailed as possible.
Where it occurred, was there anybody present?
The time it occurred?
The time it occurred.
If the spouse finds out about the sexual harassment, it can just be awful at home as well as awful at work.
Nicely, one of the attorneys for Jessica Cope and Megan Berry, says people who are sexually harassed often feel powerless and get depressed.
They have panic attacks, dread of going into work, which is anxiety, nightmares.
So it's important to keep a record of how the harassment impacts you. Also, save text messages, emails, and pictures that support your case.
Every one of these employment cases, sexual harassment cases, are all about credibility.
It's very scary. I mean, I was in disbelief.
After getting fired, Jessica Cope and Megan Berry sued the dental practice, owner Manju Kejriwal, and Gaston. 7 months ago, a jury found Hamilton Riverside Dentistry and Kejriwal were liable for a hostile work environment, negligence in their supervision of Dr. Gaston, and that they acted with malice toward Cope and Berry. The jury also concluded that the dentistry and Kejriwal retaliated against Cope by firing her. Jurors awarded the women a combined judgment of nearly $250,000.
Even when we won the trial and they was saying what we had won, I just sat there and sobbed at the table.
I don't understand at this point what's happening to us. Why am I tortured for this thing? I have not done anything wrong to Jessica, to Megan, or to anyone here in my office.
Neelam Goel insists she investigated the complaints thoroughly After our interview, she provided the I-Team with a dossier about Jessica Cope's on and off work behavior, including Cope's lawsuit against a different dentist 14 years ago that ended with Cope receiving an undisclosed financial settlement.
This is becoming really ridiculous. People accusing about sexual harassment. There are genuine cases, but people like Jessica, making it, scamming it, it's not right.
I don't even want to say it was a victory.
Jessica Cope told the I-Team she's been repeatedly harassed over her career, but only sued twice. Now more than ever, she's convinced it was the right decision.
Today, I feel a lot stronger about it. I feel like now's the time.
The dental office is appealing the verdict. Dr. Gaston and operations manager David Tankovich did not respond to our requests for comment. On WCPO.com, reporters Dan Monk and Lucy May examine a 16-year-old girl's allegation that her boss sexually assaulted her while working in a local restaurant. And on the WCPO Facebook page, we discuss more evidence that employment attorneys say will make a stronger case. Craig Cheatham, 9 on your side.